All right, welcome. First Lady Harmonic here. This Saturday evening going over GBP NZD. This is my favorite pair, trying to see exactly where we are, where I'm going. This is pretty much my analysis of this particular pair. Um, as we can see, huge downtrend, and now we're starting to make higher highs and higher lows. But right in this area here, and as you can see, I got my quarter points already on my chart as well. So my support and resistance is always done. That's the way I like it. So we see that we're making higher highs and higher lows. This standpoint here is still higher than this low here. But once we get into this area here, as I can look at it, in order for be a true market structure, you're going to have a higher high and a higher low. But what happened here is we created a higher high, and we did create a higher low. But when price came back up, as you can see, it made a lower high and a lower low. It came back up to retest. It's still lower. It's actually lower than this particular initial high as well. Then it came back down and made a higher low, but it made a lower high. So what I'm beginning to look at and see, looking at, we could be going into a downtrend. I have my trend line here, so price stays below this. Everything for me is going to be a particular sell. Of course, the trend line here. Everything above that is going to be buy. I make this, I need to change my daily colors to blue. Just a bit here. Okay, so right now we can tell the uptrend. Once we break this trend line here, we can say that we're officially starting a new downtrend. So right now I'm only looking for buys, but right now it's a very interesting area for me because we're losing momentum, so to speak. Like I said, we're creating low highs and still high. We're still retesting this area here. So we haven't made a lower low as of yet. Let's see. And from here, so kind of interesting where we are. This is where patience comes in at. I have to always admit that I'm still working on that. This is actually a wow chart. Those are daily. Okay, that's where we are in that situation. From the daily perspective, this is where we are. Okay. So I was draw my nice trend line down from the bottom. Yes, you have to be a little bit more accurate. Okay, so low wick to wick leads me right perfectly. Look at that. Okay, so once we break this trend line here, we will be in an official downtrend. So as you can see here, this was our previous market structure low. Actually, I would say this impulse leg right here. So we came, price is broken here at this quarter point of 1.8. We went up 1, 2, 3 levels, and then we began to drop, and we are pushing back up. This is making in my Elliott swing that I do. It's making a impulse down and a channel up, which is giving me a signal that we would be falling soon. So go down to the lower time frame back into H4, see where we currently are. H4, I use red. Just change that. H4 is red. There we go. So I'm looking for this trend line to break right here. So we had this move up. We have the middle. We came back down, made a lower high, and then we broke. But then, so this is giving me an indication that we could be going into a downtrend. Although, what I call this isn't necessarily a break because there was no significant follow through. So technically, it's just a retest. And then we came back up once again. We retested for a third time. We came back up. We made a low high. We came back up, made a lower low. And then now we're making some type of channel. And then I would just right here. Let's see. Yeah, right there. It's an expanded channel, so to speak. What I could do here, we have a break. We do have a break. Now, from a daily perspective, how do we close? We close with a bearish engulfing candle. Get a little larger. And we actually broke the trend line. So I'm looking for this pair to open up bearish. Hopefully it would open up a little bit bullish with a slight pullback and then continue to drop down. So I'm looking for some sells for the next couple of days. I'll go back down to the H4. Let's go. Okay. So how am I looking at this pair for right now? Well, if it's going to break this apex here, I'm looking at a harmonic. It looks to be 61.8. By the way, if you didn't know, on TradingView, you can set up multiple templates and you'll be able to change them out without going through taking off individual fib levels and so forth and so on. Okay, so I have a 61.8. What I can do is it's easy for me to take off here. So I take off 70.6. Right? I have a 61.8 and let's go for a Gartney first to see where that could possibly ends up close to a quarter point or something or another. And my purple lines that I have here is always it's a midway point between each quarter point. As you can see, price always seems to respect the midway point as well. So usually if price is above my midway point, it's going back up to the quarter point. If it closes below, it's going to the next quarter point. That's my little hack that I have. And so for me, this is a definite possibility as far as a harmonic is concerned. 618. Back up. 786. You want to have Fibonacci confluence. So we're always going to do the ABA. Now sometimes I do it on the Fibonacci, and sometimes I do it right at the extension of price, just in case a little offshoot. And there goes my 272. Let's take off the 618. With a Gartley pattern, no matter what, you can always put it back on 61.8. It always lines up. I don't know why, but to me that seems kind of interesting that it always lines up. So I found that sometimes when I do it at the extension of price itself, that could be a little bit more accurate. So I'm just gonna leave that there. So we have a possible harmonic here. If price does break this trend line, I'm assuming that it's going to come down to close with this harmonic, which is a nice area because it's right here at my midway point of my 786. It is below the 1.9. It gives me a better indication that we will be closing or coming down to at least the 1875. If I want to look at it from a alternate ABC pattern, let's say, so we had this long move here from top to bottom. And price seems to close, looking at it at 86. I want this negative 120. No, let's leave it open now. Okay, so we have an 886 close. And so an alternate ABC would be from high to low back up into its original. And now what I find here, look how the 1272 lines up exactly with the 1272 here on our harmonic. And I find that, of course, the deeper the retracement, the shallower the actual take profit 1272. I use the 1272 and 1618. Pretty much, I'm looking at the 1618 and everything from a 27 to a 618. Anything higher than that, 76, 86, and so forth, it usually hits at the 272. And so if this continues to drop, I'm looking for this to come down here. I mean, we may have some retracement. Had I getting in up here, it'd be nice. So the key would be for me to really probably get some type of retracement back up into this area here. It has been resistance, it's been support here, resistance, resistance. It is support here, but it's broken, broken, broken. So now, hopefully we'll get some type of retest back up into this area, newfound resistance, and I can just ride it all the way down. Let's take it to the 1 hour, see what we're looking at. Okay, so we got a break in this area here. We got a lot of exhaustion. We also have more exhaustion down here. And again, this lines up with my midway point of the quarter point. So once we come back up in here, I'm going to be looking for some type of rejection and take this bad boy all the way down. And look where that lines up with my 618 Fibonacci level. Okay. So I'm looking at one of my favorite pairs of how I'm going to trade this. We know we're technically in the downtrend, the 4 hour from the daily. So that's the type of trade that I'm looking for at the moment. And I'm looking to ride it nice and down. At least if I come down to this quarter point here, I'm looking at, I think it's 125 points here. Maybe 125. Not 125 points, but 125 pips. So that's what I'm really looking at for this particular pair here, GBP NZD. Let's go to gold. Let's see what I'm looking at in gold. All right, this is a clean chart. Do I have my quarter points on my FXCM? Thought I did. Ooh, look at that. Sometimes I just take this account. This was $2 billion. Let me see what my account looks like now. You know what you're doing. It's not coming up. Well, you know what you're doing. You can just take this is a demo account. I trade my demo and TradingView and my live trades on MT4. So you can see I got a nice entry here in gold. Let me just figure this out right here. So from a daily perspective, we definitely are probably coming into a downtrend. This was our lowest low. We came back up, made a lower high. This is the apex, and it broke it, and it confirmed that we've been going in an uptrend. Price came down. There's a retracement. This is one huge complex impulse leg. So anything, once it breaks this point here, then our structure, major structure level can be confirmed as broken. We have not broken that as of yet. So technically all of this here, we still are currently in an uptrend. But we see that we have lost some momentum. We have some exhaustion in this area as well. So price could come very, very much come back down here. and bounce back up, what we have to do is actually break this area as well in order for us to continue to go into an uptrend. I'm looking at a possible harmonic here. So from X to A, we have a 61.8. So we could be looking at a Gartner, which is typically what the harmonic pattern is that is used right before a trend change. It would be a Gartner. The 786, of course. X, we'll do A. Again, I use the width B. A. Okay, now of course, if I use right there, the actual Fibonacci level, it always seems to line up properly. So this is a nice zone for me as far as a harmonic pattern is concerned. Now we know that gold wicks crazy. I mean, it can be 150, 200 wick and drop down. So this zone right here has not been retested. So I would not be surprised if on some level that there's a wick that comes up into this area to retest this zone before it actually drops. And that's why I like actually having my ABA 272 here, because at least if I put my sell limit here and then I come up into the zone, it's not that many pips compared to it. 786. It's about 44 pips. 44 pips, which is not that bad. So that's what I will be looking at for gold from a daily perspective. You know what? Let me just use this triangle because the letters and stuff is kind of wax out. Let's see the gold. Okay, so hopefully I'm not boring anybody if you pay attention to the video. It's more for my benefit. But at least you're looking at how I'm looking at the charts on Saturday and Sunday and things of that nature. So again, I'm recognizing I'm still technically in an uptrend. If I get some type of reversal candle here, it comes down, it may make a higher low, and then they come back up here and retest and then do a complete drop. But we'll have to wait and see. That's a daily. Let's go down to the 4 hour and see what we're really looking at from this standpoint as well. So from a lowest time frame, we have price and exhaustion here. Well, let's see. Let me go back to the daily real quick. See how we close out. We close out a huge bearish engulfing, huge. It pretty much almost took out 3 days of candles, and then the next candle retested and is dropping. So what I'm looking at, I have a feeling that price is going to come down into this zone area here. Let's bring it back up right from here, retest this, and probably come back up for our Gartley pattern. So we're looking for some actual selling, but since we're so close to the zone, I wouldn't sell into it. I'll wait for a price to come down. It may take a couple of days, it may not, sometime next week, and to see what it does. But if you want to catch it somehow, this area here, a lot of exhaustion in this area. Wow, red. So when price actually has come down, it has come back up to it and retested it. And this is how I do my top-down analysis. You got some exhaustion down here. Let's see what happens. We come down into it, and see if we actually bounce back up or if we keep going. If we break this area here, we're going to be heading up. But if we just get some type of reversal candle here, we're going to continue downwards. So if I'm looking to make this sell, of how many pips would I say it is? Let's see. Which I think we're going to come back up. We have a nice reversal situation with a lot of wicks at the top, but we also see some support as well in this area. This makes sense because this is support right here. This is a 4 hour. So we may actually break up. This may be some type of retest. We may just break up so we can see how we're going to play this out. I'll probably close this call out on this trade out as the market opened Sunday around 6 p.m. I'm around the $2 billion, right? All right, so that's what I'm looking at right now. Looking at where we are currently. We're in between two zones. If I was to take this, let's say we come back up and retest this and drop again, nice 122 pips. That's not bad. You take the next 122 pips. Go down to the 1 hour. This is what I'm looking at here. All right, so this is H4 zone, which is stronger than a H1 zone. And so it looks like we are closed out with a hammer. And so it looks like it is giving some type of support. So I might get some rejection here. Have a candle, maybe a doji, another inverted hammer, another type of a hammer here. In a reversal, like the bullish engulfing, I may ride this up. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a harmonic pattern. It could be. You can take it from this level here. Looks to be at 50%. No, about 61.8. We could come back up here, and we could go into the actual crab pattern, which is 161.8 here. So we break this 78.6. Most likely we'd be going for the 161.8. So it's all about seeing exactly what parts are going to do in this area. I'm going to keep it in the 1 hour and see what happens in this zone here. We could break it down, go further down, and go up. But either way, we know that we're heading towards a daily zone from this perspective. So that's how I'm looking at the charts itself. Okay. We could come on and back down. But we'll see. We have a, what is this? 61.8. We could break it. Okay, so if I want to look at this from a alternative ABC, and if it does not come back up to break this B point, you just come back up into this area here, make another lower high. What I would be looking for, let's just use this here. This is my alternate ABC pattern. So A, back and then back up. At 61.8, I am always looking for 161.8. Always. The 1272, I have it on the chart, but usually 161.8 leads me down to this area down here at the 1240.61. That would be my target. So that's what I'm waiting for. This actually could be a harmonic as well. You see how you work? You have harmonics in harmonics. So if we don't break this B point here, this harmonic is not going to play out. So we're looking at another Gartley pattern. Here is 61.8, each is 78.6, and most likely it's kind of fall. Let's see what it does there. Just there. Okay. So let's see, we'll be making a lot of exhaustion here from the 4 hour perspective. Let me just clean this up a little bit. This is what I do. I just kind of break down from daily, from 4 hour, 1 hour, I try to look at the bigger picture, and that's what helps me to really see what's going on. And then I kind of worry about the entry. So I have a couple of biases here, from the standpoint here, we did make a lower high. It looks to be that we could be making another lower high here. And so I do these type of situations here. Let's see where we are. So I take this low here, relative low, and I bring it to the midway point. And it looks like we're having some rejection here at the 786, which is beautiful because it's a nice reversal point. So you could come back down to the 886 possibility, but I want to see what it actually does. So if it breaks my 786, right there. Okay. So from this point here, we have a 786. Actually, it even came all the way back down here. We tested 100%. Let me just change this here. You gotta be careful. You really want to be careful. Came back and tested 100%. Woke up again, and we're looking for some type of maybe another higher low. So you want to actually do it from the previous low here. Here's your 786, which means that we may be sitting at a 61.8. Nope, we broke that already. Okay, so we're probably coming down to the 786 right here. So that's pretty good. This looks a little bit better. So XA 61.8. We probably get some type of reversal here at the 786. And then we're looking for this garden pattern here. So let's see. Let's change this. Okay. Of course, we're going to do our ABA. Okay. Right. We have about 76 right here. So you see, we have multiple harmonics that could be found inside of one major harmonic. Again, I'm looking for this point to break here. Once we get this point broken, then I can say that we're probably going to be heading up here. But once we break here, you said some kind of rejection here. We can take profits if we start making a higher low. Most likely we're going to be coming back up for this harmonic here. But that's what I see again. Still within this major move here. Is one impulsive leg. And I say that because it goes to the daily time frame. And it goes to the weekly time frame. You see how it cuts out all the noise? You see that? That's an impulsive leg right there. So it makes it one move in itself. And this is how I look at the charts, pretty much. So I have a reaction if we're going to come up here for sure. I think we're going to break it down. We're going to come down even further. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, so hopefully just help you to see a little bit how I see the charts, how I analyze the charts, and based off of what it's going to do, how I get into the trade. So really what I'm looking for is to see a price that is around the 786 area. There's some exhaustion here. You see a lot of wicks here. We see some structure, so it lines up. You see it has tested it before as resistance. So right here, 1, 2, 3. So maybe in this area we may get some more wicks. The reversal pattern here, and we can take this bad boy up. And this is what I say when I say once you get good at harmonics, you can actually ride it from C to D because it's kind of safe. You know, if we can get to this D area here, and for some reason price continues to push up, and this actual Gartley can turn into a crab, the 1618. But you catch it down here, you're catching some pips, some nice pips. I mean, for gold in the 4 hour, 1 hour chart, looking at 280 pips. And that's not bad. You put that on one standard lot, that's $2,800. So you do the math. You do the math. So that's what I'll be looking at for this week. I'm also going to look at my AUD and NZD pairs as well. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully, if you have any questions, you can hit me up.